Good morning. You all got really quiet at the same time. Welcome to worship with the community of First Unitarian Church of Omaha. I'm Reverend Shari Woodbury, the church's minister. Whether you're here with us in person or participating online, I'm glad you've chosen to join this community in worship, which from the Latin means to remember that which is of worth. Every week we gather in community to reground ourselves in our highest values. A special welcome to visitors. This congregation is a community of all ages and abilities. It's a community with a rainbow of gender and sexual identities. It's a community of diverse cultural and class backgrounds. We draw from many different sources of inspiration and share common liberal religious values. Whoever you may be, we welcome you to bring your whole self into this space. If you're joining us online, I encourage you to create a YouTube account and sign in when you attend that way. This will allow you to participate in the comments for things like joys and concerns. All are invited to subscribe to our channel and to share videos you like with others that you think might appreciate the message. For those here in the room, you're invited to go downstairs after the service for coffee and conversation. That's in our common room, which is immediately below the sanctuary here. You can get to it either out the back and down and around, or out the side here and down and around. To learn about activities that you might want to take part in around First Unitarian, please use the QR code or the links in your program, or you can also grab a printed e-news in the foyer by the screen out there on your way out. Our church occupies the traditional treaty lands of the Omaha and Otoe-Missouri tribal nations whose sovereignty existed long before the state of Nebraska. We'd also like to express our respect to the Ponca, Winnebago, and Santee Sioux tribes, all of Nebraska, as well as the many other tribes represented in the Omaha area. Our hope here at First Unitarian is to let the land acknowledgement be just a beginning as we educate ourselves and support causes, charities, and rights of Indigenous peoples in our area. And now we have a special treat in our guest violinist for the prelude. Thank you to our young violinists from the Ann Nagaski studio. This time I invite forward Peter Osborne to light the flaming chalice. You can find the chalice lighting words in your program and also in the inside front cover of the gray hymnal. All together, spark of the Spirit, cupped in earth's embrace, light of love, alive in all creation. As we kindle this flame, we rekindle our connection to the sacred web of life. Let us worship with childlike wonder, for the world is full of beauty and mystery.
Let us ask questions and try new things, for to learn is to love life.
Let us welcome the little children unto us, and do not hinder them.
For not only are they pure in heart, they are precious in themselves.
The babe whom we honor this season, born in a manger in Bethlehem, urged all who would know the blessings of life to turn and become like children.
This is the way to create the kingdom of heaven on earth.
Let us then seek the spirit of the child. I invite you to rise if that feels good in your body and join in singing our opening hymn, number 1008 in the teal hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place. All right, children are invited forward. We may have some more coming from classrooms. If anybody else wants a closer look, the story is going to be up here. It's going to be on the screen, so you're good there in the front pew. Okay.
Good morning. Can you make it a little taller, please? Thank you. I'm Christina Strong, Director of Religious Education here at First Unitarian Church. We have quite a large crowd in our nursery today as well, but they're on the younger side and might want their parents if they come up here, so we're letting them stay down today. Thank you for gathering in the front, my elementary kids. Our book today is called The Book with No Pictures. Please raise your hand if you have read a book with no pictures before. Any book with no pictures. Okay. Who has read this book with the title Book with No Pictures? Okay. So you might be a little bit curious about why we have images up on our screen if this is a book with no pictures. But the way that came about was when I told a friend that I was reading this in church. She said, "You mean to adults?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I know. I normally read this book to very distinguished 2- and 3- and 4-year-olds who come to my house for literary exploration while their parents are at work every day. But I think it will be okay." And she said, "I just realized that the reason I don't read this book to adults isn't because it's embarrassing. It's because they just kind of tend to not get it. And so I put pictures of the words of the book with no pictures on the screen to help the adults get it, kind of." Okay, so I have Sonali and Pele with me from our teen class, and so Sonali will begin the reading.
The Book with No Pictures. This is a book with no pictures. It might seem like no fun to have someone read you a book with no pictures. It probably seems boring and serious, except
here's how this book works. Everything the words say, the person reading has to say, no matter what. That's the deal, that's the rule. So that means even if the words say,
I think this was Sonali's part.
blork. Wait, what? That doesn't even mean anything. Blurf. Wait a second, what? This isn't the kind of book I wanted to read, and I have to say every word the book says? Uh-oh. I am a monkey who taught myself to read. Hey, I'm not a monkey. And I am now reading you this book with my monkey mouth and my monkey voice. That's not true. I am not a monkey. Yes, I am a monkey. Also, I am a robot monkey. What?
and my head is made of blueberry pizza. Wait a second. Is this whole book a trick? Can I stop reading, please? No? And now it's time for me to sing you my favorite song. A song? Do I really have to sing a...
No? Okay. Now it's time for me to sing you my favorite song. Glug, 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 my face is a bug. I eat ants for breakfast right off the rug. Your turn.
This book is ridiculous. Can I stop reading yet? No? There are more pages? I have to read the rest? My only friend in the whole wide world is a hippo named Boo Boo Butt. Boo Boo Butt.
And also, the kids I'm reading this book to are the best kids ever in the history of the entire world. Oh, really?
And kids who love this book are smart kids too, because they chose this book even though it has no pictures. because kids know this is the book that makes grown-ups have to say silly things and make silly sounds, like...
I guess it did say this part has to be a grown-up. Oh no, here it comes. Glurga wacko, ma grumph, ado, aye, broog, 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 oomph, eemph, blaggity, blaggity, glibbity, globbity, globbity, glibbity, beep, boop, Doggity face! I need some water.
Oh my goodness. Please don't ever make me read this book again. It's so silly. In fact, it is completely and utterly preposterous.
Next time, please, 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 please choose a book with pictures. Please, because this is just too ridiculous to read. The end. Bonk. I didn't want to say that.
All right. Let's see. Each week, we share our blessings with others through a community offering. Half of undesignated gifts are donated to a local cause which resonates with your values. If you're online or would rather give with your smartphone, you can use the QR code or link. For the month of December, our Share the Plate recipient is Youth Emergency Services, YES. YES serves homeless and at-risk youth by providing critically needed resources that empower them to become self-sufficient. If you'd like to learn more about this group, you can go to www.yesomaha.org. Thank you for giving as you're able as we listen to a musical gift from two of our own spirited young people.
Gone away.
Thank you, Ava and Samara. We come to the time now for sharing of joys and concerns. This gives us an opportunity to know what's going on in one another's lives and celebrate together and offer support when it is needed. I want to share one joy that some of you may have seen in church news of various kinds, an official welcome to our incoming AV Technology Coordinator, Kindness Bryan. Would you stand up, Kindness, and give a little wave? We're so glad to have her. We've been very fortunate to have Oliver for these past 2+ years, and we're going to have a little celebration and thank you to him after the service next week. So be sure and come here for that if you want to be part of it. Colin, what do we have from online and email?
Church member and former organist Pat will turn 90 on December 19th. Let's have a card shower. Send birthday cards to Pat Will, 1211 Glen Mitchell Road, Sewickley, Pennsylvania. That will be in the e-blast. Church member Edith Bice has Alzheimer's and has recently moved to a memory care unit. She needs cards from her church friends. Send well wishes and holiday cards to Edith Bice, 4609 Hilltop Street, Papillion, Nebraska, 68133. The caring team thinks it would be lovely for Edith to have more visitors, especially if you know her. It's best for visitors to call the front desk at Maple Rose at 402-291-9777 to pass a message with your visit date and time so they can be prepared. Best to also call an hour ahead of the day on the day of the visit as a reminder. And again, that will be printed and that will be sent in the e-blast. From Cindy Nather, she said that she had eye surgery on the 29th and is doing better now. From Lynn P. She says, I am so devastated by all the people suffering in Israel and Gaza and the anger and division it is causing in the U.S. and the world. And speaking of that, second here, from Sharon Conlon, there will be a potluck fundraiser tonight, Sunday, December 10th at 5:45 p.m. at First Methodist Church, 7020 Cass Street. Bring a dish, cash, checkbook, or donate online. That's for Children of Gaza. There will be raffle items and keffiyehs for sale. Ask friends, family, and anybody else to come. That's it.
By the way, next week we'll also be acknowledging the people that we missed during the holiday season with a ritual of remembrance, if you want to take part in that. As we listen now to a centering song from our guest violin quartet, I invite you to give some love to the child within. If you feel so moved, you might put your hand over your heart, might offer a warm welcome to your young self to be present here in the company of this community and in the bright spirit of this holiday season. On the wings of this music, I invite you into a time of contemplation. After a pastoral prayer, we'll observe a period of shared silence, which I'll end with the sound of the bell. You may want to make sure you're seated comfortably, check your spine, rest your hands on your lap, rest your eyes. O Spirit of life, as we honor the spirit of the child this morning, let us remember children celebrating various holidays this month: Bodhi Day, Hanukkah and Christmas, Kwanzaa and Yuletide or winter solstice. And their families and communities, may these celebrations bring joy and light. O Spirit of love, in a season of both abundance and cold, let us remember not only the children who are well fed and loved and clothed, but also those youngsters in need of care for body and spirit. May those of us who are blessed with more remember to share with those who have less. O Spirit of peace, as war and conflict smolder, we remember the children facing violence and death. Conflicts in Ukraine, Syria, Somalia, and Afghanistan, and Yemen, Myanmar, Israel, and perhaps most dramatically today, in Gaza.
Comes from William Martin's book, The Parent's Tao Te Ching, Ancient Advice for Modern Parents. Martin interprets passages from the Tao Te Ching from the point of view of a parent. Our passage for today: your children have important lessons to learn, but even more important ones to teach. What can they teach? How to play, how to pay complete attention, how to play all day without tiring, how to let one thing go and move on to another with no backward glances, how to move and sit with no tension in the muscles, no stress in the bones. Thus, the wise parent or person learns and grows younger every day.
Before I knew what Unitarian Universalism was, I had read a bestseller by a UU minister, Robert Fulghum. Perhaps you've heard of it too. It's called All I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. As a parent, I came to appreciate a twist on that idea. Let's call it All I Need to Know I Could Learn from a Kindergartner. Whether it's curiosity, wonder, love, or sheer presentness in the moment, seeing the world through the eyes of a child can bring us back in touch with a child inside ourselves. In the spirit of a child, will you play with me? All we need is a ball. We could make up 1,000,000 games with just one ball. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. So let's say the rule is to keep the ball moving from one side to the other of the sanctuary. If it comes to you, hit it up or toss it. If it falls on the ground, a young or young at heart person can go and pick it up and get it going again. But whatever you do, keep the ball away from the cameras in the organ loft. Okay, that's the only rule here. So back and forth. Ready? I once invited some of my pastor-parent colleagues to share things their child had said that struck them as insightful or lovely. I'll share some of those with you as real-life kid quotes. Let's hear that real-life kid quote.
Okay. I can't wait to be a grown-up, except that grown-ups are boring. They just work all the time.
I've heard that from my kid. Any other parents heard that? Grown-ups are boring. Ouch. Well, the prime directive of small children, all you Star Trek fans out there, is have fun. And their number one enemy is not the Borg, it's boredom. Life is for playing. So, can I teach you the song I made up? Okay, somebody can catch the ball and keep it if you want to. Are you ready for a song? You can repeat after me. The sun is up. It's time for fun. Let's sing a song and play along. Every day. And here's the real life kid refrain, spoken, not sung.
I just want you to be with me.
One of my colleagues shared this story. Years ago, our 4-year-old and I were having a conversation on top of a play structure in the late afternoon. All of a sudden, he realized I had my eyes closed against the sun. Must have been very bright out. He asked incredulously, "How can you know what you want to say if your eyes are closed?" Kids know how to be open to what's around us and attuned to the senses. Okay, let's change the rules for the beach ball game. Now the rule is, you can get it back out there if you want, you can catch the ball instead of hitting it, and then you could dance around with the ball like it's your dance partner for a bit. and then give it to someone else to dance with the ball. So who wants to get us started dancing with the ball? Where is it? All right, Lynn's going to get it going. But, yeah. Kids can offer a different perspective. Kids can offer a different perspective on life. One person told me, "My child always looks forward to the big cross mowed on the side of the hill on our way to church. She always says, 'Look, the big T for church,' or 'There's the big chalice.'" This parent said, "I like to imagine that to her," this was in the Deep South, with crosses everywhere and everyone's shirts and necklaces, everyone is rocking chalices because they are UU. Another minister observed, "Kids have an innate desire to give to others." Okay, whoever's so moved can hold the ball again. And let's see, back to the slideshow. All right. There you go, thank you. Okay, so let's see if we have a little demonstration here of the innate desire that kids have to share with others, and we do have permission to share this video. So a religious education director went with this family and this young child to a hospital ward, and the child is having such a good time handing out little lammies, little stuffed animals to people who are convalescing in the hospital. Do you have any patients who would like a little lamb? And the young giver enjoyed this activity at least as much as the people receiving the little lambs. Okay. There was one part of this experience that wasn't captured on video. My colleague explained one of the rooms we stopped in had a young teenage girl. She'd obviously been there a long time, and her room was filled with family. It was clear that she was getting to the end of her journey. But she asked us to come in and smiled when the itty-bitty girl gave her the lamb. Then she directed one of her uncles to reach behind himself, where she had a set of bracelets, to give them to the toddler. The spirit of the child includes some pretty profound generosity and joy in giving.
Here's another real-life kid quote. "Your job is to keep me safe. My job is to help you have fun."
Oh, I know. Let's play hide and seek. Who'll play with me? Oh, okay. I'll count to 10 and you hide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, or is there a unicorn in here? Whew. I must admit, I'm feeling a little bit squirrely.
Oh, nuts. That's squirrely. Oh, nuts.
Here's something. Whew. Here's something I learned once at a play date with a little boy who was a big fan of dinosaurs. Do we have any dinosaur fans here? Okay, so you might already know this. The chicken evolved from dinosaurs. It's true. It's made me look at my morning eggs in a whole new way. Next comes some kid anecdotes that are a reminder of the natural connection to other creatures and to nature that children feel. An experience of mutuality and care that they trust and act on.
We were trimming our hedges one spring, one pastor parent said, and our child ran out of the house. She was 3 and yelled, "What are you doing, Daddy?" He replied, "Just trimming the bushes so they can stay healthy and look nice." She picked up a few cut sprigs, held them to her chest, grabbed her mother's hand, and in the most dramatic tone she could muster, she said, "Mommy, hug these beautiful plants with me." The parents felt that they were witnessing our 7th UU principle coming to life.
Another colleague recalls when her son was 4.5. He says to her, "Before I help you cook, I just have to pet Murray," their dog. "My heart says please, so I just have to." Real life kid refrain.
I just want you to be with me.
I'll share a real life kid quote from my own kid. She doesn't remember this anymore. She was like 6 years old, but she gave me permission to share. She said to me one day, "My specialty is to make you laugh. What's your specialty?" Any knock-knock joke fans here? Okay, a few. Well, we've got a few for you. Knock, knock. Interrupting cow. Moo. Here's another one. Knock, knock. Interrupting Unitarian Universalist. Spirit of life. Come on. Okay. One more. Knock, knock. Interrupting kid. New rule, if you get the ball, try to balance it on your head before you toss it back to someone else. Who can balance the ball on their head? Oh, very good, very good. And our real life kid refrain again. Douglas. Real life kid refrain.
I just want you to be with me.
Now, just because kids like to have fun doesn't mean they can't dive into big topics or even express profound ideas. One of my counterparts told me the following. My younger daughter made me seriously believe in reincarnation when she was about 2. She was very clear that you died and went down in the ground, then up to the sky, then were born again. She asked questions like, "Mommy, when I die and then get born again, can I still use the same high chair?" She was so matter-of-fact that this is what had happened to her. And perhaps it's no coincidence, I wonder, that spiritual role models and teachers are often noted for their childlike qualities. I remember once going to hear the Dalai Lama speak when I lived in Bloomington, Indiana. It was about 15 years ago. I sat with my mother in a packed sports stadium where thousands of people were around us. And at this point, there's only one of his remarks that I remember. But the thing that really stands out to me so strongly, and despite how far we were from the Dalai Lama on the stage, was just his manner. He was so playful. His answers were sometimes so simple, his manner relaxed and natural, and there was a twinkle in his eye. Let's see. An older kid, Yu kid, his mom told me, is making a 3D printing project at the library out of the hymn Building Bridges. You might know this hymn from our Teal hymnal, which is about connecting across differences. The words are, building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you. Will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we can make such sweet harmony. So this Yu teen is making a necklace that has those words inscribed on it, which I thought was pretty cool. Real life kid refrain.
I just want you to be with me.
That story also reminds me how natural it comes to we humans to make things. I think most kids like arts and crafts and making things, including bubbles. A few years ago in the fall, my mother sent a package to our house that included some Halloween items. There's a card for my daughter, some sweet gum tree leaves. She remembered how much I like those and probably knew I was missing the fall colors up north because I was in the south at that time. And she also sent this little construction paper card thing that I made when I was little. I don't have it anymore, but on the front of it, this card says, "All About Me at School" by Shari. And there's a stick figure of me with a speech bubble that says, "Art is my favorite class." On the lined writing paper stapled inside, I wrote, "Art is my best class. I like Miss Miracle," that was my first grade teacher. "Halloween is my best holiday. At school, people spill milk a lot!" Exclamation point. "I can't wait until second grade!" Exclamation point. Well, this was really surprising to me because I don't remember liking art as a kid. My own kid is super artsy, and I always figured that she got that from her father, who is a kind of digital artist. And I've come around as an adult to loving arts and crafts, but I really did not remember this was a thing for me as a kid. And apparently, it was one of my favorite things. And that reminds me of the song My Favorite Things from The Sound of Music, which my daughter and I always listen to as we're putting up our Christmas tree. Some of my own favorite things as a kid included snow days, or fog days, which we also had where I lived along the river, when we got to stay home from school and play, riding my bike, and playing board games with my dad. What were some of your favorite things as a kid? I invite you to call them out if you're so moved.
Playing by the creek.
I heard sledding, hanging by the creek. You can write it in the chat too, those online. Playing with dogs. Playing with toys. Biking. Mm. Mm-hmm. All right. By the way, we'll have extra bubble ones downstairs afterwards if anybody wants to do it in the common room or go outside with some bubbles and give that a go. Gratitude is another quality that comes naturally to many children. Let's see, can we go back to the slides? I want to give you a new rule for the ball, so somebody can grab the ball. And the new rule is to toss or hand the ball to someone in this room that you appreciate. Now, if you're online and feel like you're missing out on the fun, you can say something in the chat to someone that you appreciate. So take the ball to someone you appreciate here and give it to them or toss it to them, and we can keep it going like that for a little bit. Some UU families find that children really take to the ritual of saying a blessing of gratitude before meals sometimes. One of my colleagues shared this.
On our better days, we try to hold hands and have a moment of quiet before supper. When our oldest was about 2, after we squeezed hands, she began adding her own gesture, opening her arms as wide as they could. then clapping her hands in front of her in a prayer position, then crossing her arms to give herself a big hug. No words, but an amazing blessing. We still do that.
Shall we try that together? Open your arms as wide as they'll go, then clap your hands together in prayer namaste position, and finally give yourself a big hug. We are grateful for all that we have. And now I invite you all to repeat after me the real life kid refrain, which is there. I just want you to be with me.
I just want you to be with me.
Last time all together. I just want you to be with me. All right, so hang on to that, John. Hang on to that. Hang on to that, Bob. I invite you to rise, if that feels good to you, and join in our closing hymn, number 388, I Seek the Spirit of the Child. $38. Sorry. I seek the spirit of a child who meets life naturally, the child who sings the world alive and reads the morning sun with glee. Children are real beyond all art. May I sing joy's a gift to our heart. I seek the freedom of a child who loves instinctively, who lights our day with just a smile, and shines that light on all we see. Children are real beyond all fears. May I sing hope's a gift to our tears. I seek the wonder of a child who sees delightfully, now clouds encrown, now golden sun, imaginations true and free. Children are real beyond all odds. May I sing faith's a gift to our hearts. Let us all discover again and again within ourselves the spirit of the child, a spirit of wonder, freedom, and joy. So may it be. Amen.